बहुत ही irreverent film है, बहुत ही बेहुदा film होने वाली है जो भी है, and there's a lot of stuff going to be happening over there. So what exactly is there in the film?
I was looking for these. Your gun is like a solar eclipse. So,
ये शादी नहीं हो सकती. इस लड़की ने मेरे साथ blow job किया है ना. You are inviting, you're courting trouble, in fact. You know.
There are no virgin audiences. People have been exposed to so much from across the world.
There's a lot of colorful language used in the film, which is typical of Delhi.
Yeah, I think we're actually a very irreverent country. The way we talk to our friends, the way we are. We need humor to survive in the madness that is India. I mean, Delhi Belly, for example, had almost 15 drafts before it went out into the world. How do I see my future? I hope, hopefully, bright. I have no idea that this film allows me to write another film and the next one another one.
तेरी तिरछी नजर ने दिल को कर दिया पैंचर तेरी तिरछी नजर ने दिल को कर दिया पैंचर.
We have this today the scriptwriter of Delhi Belly, Akshat Verma, who's it rarely happens that a producer, director, and actor speaks so much about a scriptwriter, and Amir Khan has been doing it at every event whatsoever. Pleasure having you on Bollywood Hungama, first of all.
Thank you for having me.
What is it in your script that Amir Khan is totally bowled over? He keeps on talking about it at all the events.
I don't know, man. If I really knew, I'd write another one like it and make another film with him. So I hope it's a combination of elements. Some of the humor and the situations clicked with him. I think some of it is humor that Amir connects to on a personal level. So it's a story that really made him laugh, I think.
He keeps on saying that बहुत ही irreverent film है, बहुत ही बेहुदा film होने वाली है जो भी है, and there's a lot of stuff going to be happening over there. So what exactly is there in the film? That so much is being said कि यार इसमें कुछ ना कुछ controversy लिखा हुआ है.
I tell you, maybe not. I mean, my approach with the film was that when I'm writing these characters, I want them to be true to life, to be people that we've known and seen and met in our everyday lives. And oftentimes I feel the characters we see on screen in our films don't reflect the reality of how we live. I think we're actually a very irreverent country. The way we talk to our friends, the way we are, is really funny. I mean, we need humor to survive in the madness that is India. Strangely, that humor doesn't ever show up on screen, and this is an attempt to try and capture some of that, a slice of the way we talk to each other, the way we are with our friends.
Sure.
And hopefully it'll feel more real, and that reality is irreverent. So.
डियर ताऊ जी, हमें बहुत दुख हुआ आपके बम्स में गोली लगा. हमें आशा है आप जल्दी खुद पॉटी जा सकोगे.
The entire thing, that how the script was sent to Amir Khan Productions, and how Kiran read it first, and how it got to Amir, that can be a film in itself. The entire story. You've been living in USA for a long time. You were in Delhi before that. Your film is primarily in English, that is Delhi Belly, and at the same time there's a lot of colorful language used in the film, which is typical of Delhi.
Yeah, it's an English film in some ways, but I also would like to say that it's a character-specific film in terms of language. So people speak in the tongue that they would normally speak. I mean, we as Indians exist in two languages normally. You know, we speak English, Hindi, maybe even a third language, and the film tries to capture that. So you don't have someone who is speaking a language that doesn't sound right coming out of their mouths. So it's an attempt to capture that flavor of our everyday interactions. And within that, there is swearing. I want to say it's not gratuitous. I mean, wherever there needs to be swearing, or if there's a situation that warrants it, it's there for a reason. People aren't just swearing for the sake of swearing. So it's not to shock. It's really to serve character and story. Any
real life incidents that have been the sparking point for this film?
It's all completely true.
Mm-hmm.
No, as writers, writers are thieves. I mean, we steal from the stories around us, from our friends' lives, things that influence us and affect us. So yes, there's a bit of the writer in everything, and the world that we've lived in. So yes, it's true, but it's fictionalized, you know. But it's a work of fiction.
मेरी शादी हो रही है. अच्छा, मैंने सोचा अगले साल होने वाली थी. बकरे की मुंडी उड़ने से पहले ना, उसे लगता है घास खिलाने ले जाए.
Who's DK Bose in the film?
DK Bose, in a sense, is every man. It's you know how Lakshman's every man is sort of character. It's all of us and the way life treats us and the way circumstances impose themselves upon us. And it's really how we face life under different circumstances.
That's very clever. In the entire paraphernalia, you're having a film which is somewhat in English. It's also having a dubbed version released in Hindi as well. How do you see your future in Hindi cinema, in Indian cinema per se, considering that you've got a hell lot of publicity courtesy Amar Khan's events?
How do I see my future? I hopefully bright. I have no idea. We'll only find out how the film does. That's really the final barometer on what happens on Friday. And the best thing any creative can hope for is that they be allowed to do the work they want to do, and that's all they can do. I hope I'll be able to write more films after this. This film allows me to write another film, and the next one another one, and that's all I can really hope for.
Have you written any script that you have made Amir or anyone else in Indian cinema read it anyone?
I have several scripts, but they're all in various stages, first drafts, second drafts, and I really am very reticent about letting out scripts until they are to a point where they should be read. I shouldn't need to be in the room to explain why things are working or not working on the page. So, I mean, Delhi Belly, for example, had almost 15 drafts before it went out into the world. So that's what I will be doing with...
It was in the making for 3 years.
Yes, don't remind me. It took a long time, but yes, it took the time it did, and I think every film has a time and a destiny of its own.
Something about the director of the film, Abhinay Deo, how was the experience of working with him? Because somewhere we are seeing more of the spotlight on Akshat Verma than the director himself.
Oh, that's unfair. I think that's only because right now this is the lead up to the film, and once you see Abhinay's work and what he's put together, it'll clearly shift him. He's done a fantastic job. And really sort of taken the script to another level, as have all the actors, because in every film it's so collaborative. All the elements need to sort of fall into place for things to work. I want to mention Ram here for certain. He understood the world of the film so well, and his own diverse influences. I mean, the film has influences as well that are different. And Ram's music completely fit into that because he has a background like that. He takes elements from the East and the West and puts them together in crafting songs that are just amazing. I mean, you know, each song is a gem. It's a perfect example of pop craftsmanship. So all these things, we were very, very fortunate that everyone working on the film really came together.
Akshat is the story, screenplay and the dialogue writer of the film. When we saw the theatrical trailer of Delhi Belly, one thing that immediately caught my attention was when Veer Das says this dialogue. He goes to a marriage and he says that ये शादी नहीं हो सकती, इस लड़की ने मेरे साथ blow job किया है. Now you are you're quoting trouble, in fact. You know? This is the most unconventional Shadi Roko scene that we have seen that we're seeing at least in the promo in Hindi cinema. Indian cinema rather.
Truly, if an ex-boyfriend says that to a girlfriend, I mean, you know, it comes with feeling and with reason. So I don't know why it's quoting trouble. I'm just amazed nobody else has said it before.
ये शादी नहीं हो सकती, इस लड़की ने मेरा है.
You may be amazed that no one else has said it before, but the fact is that this kind of maybe openness or maybe just saying it upfront is something that is not seen in Hindi cinema or Indian cinema at all.
And I'm surprised that it isn't. It's about time because our generation, that the new generation is actually consuming films from all around the world. I mean, it's not a matter that we don't have access to cinema of all kinds from everywhere and of all kinds of ratings. So there's no reason why we should be shying away from, reality or truths or even humor that seems to be a little more closer to home in what it's saying and what it's doing. I mean, we're not really sheltering anyone. There are no virgin audiences. People have been exposed to so much from across the world. So we should just embrace that and embrace the humor that exists in our own culture and in our own daily lives, in our own situations, and just run with it.
Tell our audience something about your immediate past. Like you've been in US, and what exactly have you been doing? What is your training in film and cinema?
I went to the United States to go to film school, where I trained in screenwriting at UCLA, where I got my master's in film. And before that in India, I was working in advertising as a copywriter for a little while. And then even after I graduated in the US, I was doing advertising, I was walking dogs, flipping burgers, doing multiple jobs before you finally get to write for a living. So that's really been my story. before Delhi Belly got set up. I mean, along the way, while I was working in advertising, I decided along the way to try and take matters into my own hands, to set up Delhi Belly as a project, to either find independent funding for it, and then to try and make it. And in that process, the script got to Amir, and it is what it is now.
Any of the dialogue that is your favorite from Delhi Belly, and maybe it can be a bit spicy as well. We don't mind that.
I don't know if I can quote anything from. I mean, is this a family thing? I mean,
No, it's mature audience.
I don't know. There's so many things that come.
Whatever
to mind,
comes to your mind. Be frank. No problem. We don't beep things.
Okay, I mean, out of context, if I take these lines out of context, they're going to make no sense. But Arup says to his friend Nitin, he's sitting on his trousers that he's been looking for through a scene, and he says, "I was looking for these. Your gun is like a solar eclipse." So, I'm certain it makes no sense out of a scene.
Shit happens. Shit happens. Fantastic. That was Akshat Verma, the writer of Delhi Belly. Looks very unusual kind of film, making a lot of controversy. We've just seen one example coming from the writer himself. Thank you very much for being on Bollywood Hungama. Lovely to have you, and all the best wishes for Delhi Belly and all your future ventures in India and other cinema that you take up.
Thank you so much, Farid.
That's all we have from Bollywood Hungama. Keep on watching.